Hi, so my name is Ashling Ryan, and I am a trainee psychotherapist who specialises in cognitive behavioural therapy. So, this is a talk therapy in which it helps clients to manage their problems through changing the way you think and behave. So, in our initial sessions, we will discuss some of your background issues and then following on, kind of what's bringing you into my office that's causing you the most trouble. Through this, then we collaboratively create a case conceptualization. And this is why I love cognitive behavioral therapy, because it's very individualized to the client. So we'll work on focusing on what main issues are causing you the most psychological disturbance. And from that, we will create a plan going forward. I have a master's in psychology, and I am currently completing my master's in counseling and psychotherapy, specializing in cognitive behavioral therapy. When someone comes to see me, is I like to really develop the therapeutic relationship. So I always like to lead with empathy and positive regard and a very non-judgmental stance. So I'd like to make a client feel as comfortable as possible in telling me their background and what issues they're presenting with that's causing them the most trouble. So although it is a talk therapy, there will be a lot of collaboration on in between work that you can do that can help promote change your behaviors or your thought process that may be exacerbating some symptoms that you are feeling. So depending on what you come to see me with, for depression, there'll be a lot of behavioral activation exercises. And one of the central beliefs to cognitive behavioral therapy is that how our negative thoughts can cause negative outcomes in our behaviors and our actions. So we mainly focus on changing those, identifying those negative thoughts and help modifying them to more realistic thought patterns. So in terms of anxiety can be a lot of irrational beliefs. So our main goal is to try and identify some irrational beliefs and then create more realistic rational beliefs. Approaches that I use in CBT is first to let the client know that it is quite goal-based and action-orientated. So although we will be talking about your issues that are concerning you, we will also be coming up collaboratively with skill management, problem-solving skills, relaxation techniques, behavioral activation techniques, and thought records that you can then, in between sessions, work on or try out and to help you improve some of the negative thoughts or behavioral patterns that are causing you psychological disturbances. It's been very proven to be effective with treating depression, anxiety, fears, and phobias. So there'll be my areas of expertise that I would be mainly focusing on. So with anxiety, a lot of the time it can be that there's quite unhelpful thought patterns that exacerbate feelings of anxiety. So with CBT, one of our main goals is for you to kind of identify your negative automatic thoughts. And we can do this through thought records, devising kind of plans that we can test out some assumptions as to why you may be feeling anxious, like could be public speaking, it could be certain areas of like a fear of going somewhere. And we will together collaboratively work on building up your tolerance to these stressful situations. In terms of depression, the main thing with depression is reduced activity and feelings of apathy. So our main goal is to firstly improve their behaviors and their responses to stuff so that we can do that through behavior testing. Again, we will always go client-led, so what they're most comfortable with, and lead up to more bigger tasks. So depending on what the client is comfortable with doing, we will go ahead then and start with that. And finally, with fears and phobias, we like to use the hierarchy of fears. So together we'll collaboratively describe your least fear activating situation in terms of, it could be like a fear of spiders or a fear of flying. And together we will work on that hierarchy up until you reach a level of being comfortable, say with flying in an airplane or being around spiders, whatever the case may be. But the one thing I like to focus on with CBT is that it is very client focused. So we will only go at your pace, is what you're comfortable with, and only move on when you're ready to do so. My strengths and unique selling points would be that I come from quite a diverse background in terms of my education and my experience. So I work with youth reach with young people, and I also have a background in psychology. And being now that I'm doing CBT, I find that allows me to have a more like rounded, holistic approach when dealing with my clients. I can understand the client's perspective where they might feel quite uncomfortable or nervous as they don't know what to expect. But I would like to let clients know that the benefits of therapy far outweigh that initial discomfort, and that I like to ensure that my clients, first and foremost, feel safe and that they feel comfortable in my setting. We all need support with our mental health. We can go through life, there's many ups and downs and stresses, such as like the housing situation right now in Ireland, access to adequate care. Parents are facing difficulties if they have any children with special needs. So I really think that there's nobody at one point or another in their life that doesn't need some more support for their mental health. So outside of my work-life balance, I really like to make sure that I incorporate some things for my own mental health. So one thing that I'm really passionate about is meditation and mindfulness. I find that it's fantastic, even just for your own mental well-being, whether you are facing any kind of severe like mental health issues. It's just brilliant for helping you unwind and stay present. I also love to be active. So being out in nature is a really important thing, is it helps us to connect to the world around us and allows us to stay present in the moment, which is very good for if you're suffering from anxiety or depression. It can keep you kind of focused on the present rather than getting lost in your own thoughts. I also love going to the gym because I feel like it's great to help you like offload a lot of steam, or if you're feeling quite stressed, it's a great way of like getting rid of all that energy.